Martin Krugman's body, never found. Not a bone, not a tooth, nothing. The guy who put together the biggest cash robbery of this country ever saw, $6 million out of Lufthansa in December of 1978. He just stopped existing one night, gone. And nobody's found him since. Now, within weeks of that heist, bodies start showing up everywhere. Queens, Brooklyn, all over. Anybody connected to the job gone, one by one. Like somebody was going down a checklist. But here's the thing, here's where everybody gets it wrong. They think Morrie got killed because he was loud, because he kept bugging Jimmy about his money, because he was a pain in the ass who finally pushed the wrong guy too far. That's the movie version. That's Goodfellas giving you a laugh where there should have been a lesson. The real reason? Way darker, way simpler. Morrie wasn't killed for running his mouth. He was killed because he kept records. He had a legitimate business, a wig shop, and behind that business, he was running a loan sharking operation, and that operation had paperwork, names, addresses, payment schedules, and a whole bunch of those names, they worked at Kennedy Airport, including the inside man who made Lufthansa happen. Morrie's filing cabinet was basically a gift-wrapped case for the FBI. And Jimmy Burke knew it. He knew it probably before the heist even went down. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how the guy who made Lufthansa possible became the guy who absolutely had to disappear because of it. And the part that changes everything, Morrie didn't just know about the heist. He financed half the gambling debts that led to it. He had files, he had paper, he had exposure that could have unraveled the whole thing. And Jimmy understood that from day one. So who was this guy? For real. Because the movie turns him into a joke, and look, whatever Morrie was, he wasn't a joke. Martin Krugman, born 1919, New York, worked his way into a small business wig shop out in Brooklyn. Legit operation, paid his taxes, sold hair pieces, theater people, women with medical issues, guys trying to look younger, fine. Normal stuff. That was the front of the store. Behind the counter, Morrie's running loans to airport workers at Kennedy. Guys who need quick cash, guys with gambling problems, guys who can't walk into a Chase Manhattan and get approved for anything. Morrie was their guy. 25% interest. He wasn't a made man, couldn't be. He was Jewish, but he was connected. Tight with Jimmy Burke, close enough to sit at the table, close enough to be in the room when things got discussed. And in 1978, Morrie's sitting on a piece of information that's worth more than anything he's ever touched in his life. He knows about a hole in Lufthansa's security. One of his loan sharking clients, a guy named Louis Werner, works inside the cargo facility at JFK. Werner's drowning in gambling debt. 20 grand in the hole, interest piling up. He's desperate. And desperate guys, they talk. Werner tells Morrie everything. How Lufthansa moves cash from overseas. How it sits overnight in the cargo building. Millions. Untraceable bills. And the security, light. The whole thing's wide open for anybody with the stones to walk in. Morrie hears this and he sees it right away. But he's not a heist guy. He doesn't have a crew. He's a middleman, a connector. So he takes it to the one person who can actually pull this off, Jimmy Burke, the most dangerous and most organized earner in Queens. Burke runs crews out of Robert's Lounge. Hijackings, truck jobs, fencing operations. If anybody on this planet can turn Werner's information into $6 million, it's Jimmy. Burke listens. Oh, he's interested, very interested, but he needs details, blueprints, guard rotations, timing, every single thing Werner can give him, and Morrie delivers. Through Werner, he feeds Burke the entire playbook, vault location, security schedules, that critical detail about the double door system. One door's got to close completely before the other one opens, or the alarm trips, everything. Morrie puts all of it on the table. They plan for months. Burke picks the crew. Every guy's got a role. Every guy thinks he's about to get rich. December 11th, 1978, 3 in the morning. They hit Building 261 at JFK. Fast, ski masks, guns out. They knew exactly where to go because Werner told them exactly where to go. They cracked the vault, found more than they expected. $6 million cash, another $1 million in jewelry. 63 minutes in and out, gone before the cops even got the call. Biggest cash robbery in American history. Perfect execution, no shots fired, nobody hurt. The crew melts into the night, the money disappears, and everybody involved figures they're untouchable. Morrie figures he's about to get paid. He's expecting a big cut. 300, maybe 400,000. And honestly, from where he's sitting, he earned it. Without Morrie, there's no Lufthansa. He brought the whole thing. He delivered the inside man. He's the reason any of this happened. But Jimmy's already thinking past the money. Jimmy understands something Morrie hasn't caught up to yet. This score is too big, too public. The FBI is going to rip the city apart looking for answers. And every single person connected to it, they're a crack in the wall. Burke's not thinking about who to pay, he's thinking about who to bury. Within weeks, bodies. Everywhere. Everyone who touched Lufthansa money is getting removed. This wasn't random violence. This wasn't Jimmy losing his temper. This was a cleanup operation. Surgical. Every person killed was a potential witness, a potential rat, a potential weak spot that could bring the whole thing crashing down. And Morrie? He's on that list. Probably been on it since before the job even happened. Here's what made Morrie different from all the other guys Burke was killing. The crew, the guys who actually walked into the terminal, they were street criminals. Cash economy. No paperwork, no bank accounts, no paper trails. They got their money, they spent it, or they buried it in a backyard. There was nothing for a forensic accountant to trace. Morrie? Total opposite. He was a businessman. He kept books. His loan sharking operation ran on files. Customer names, payment schedules, amounts, addresses, and a big chunk of those customers worked at Kennedy Airport, including Werner, the inside man, the guy whose information made the whole heist possible. Those files? That was a roadmap. If the FBI got their hands on Morrie's records, they could connect airport workers to gambling debts, connect those debts to Morrie, connect Morrie to Burke, and connect Burke to Lufthansa. The entire conspiracy laid out in a loan shark's filing cabinet. Jimmy saw that clear as day. Morrie's wig shop wasn't just a storefront. It was a warehouse full of evidence. Every loan he ever documented was potential testimony. Every guy he ever squeezed for interest was a witness prosecutors could flip. Morrie thought those records protected him. Proof people owed him money. Insurance against deadbeats. But after Lufthansa, those same records made him the most dangerous person in Burke's world. Not dangerous to other people, dangerous to Jimmy. So the money. Morrie wants his share. Weeks go by after the heist. Nothing. He starts asking, then he starts pushing, calling Burke, showing up at Robert's Lounge, pressing the issue in front of other guys. I want my money. Where's my cut? I brought you this score. Pay me. In the movie, this is comedy. Chuck Lowe in that ridiculous wig, sweating, nagging, when am I getting my money, Jimmy? Over and over till De Niro snaps and strangles him in a car. Makes Morrie look like an idiot who annoyed himself into a grave. That ain't what happened. The real Morrie wasn't a clown. He was a sharp guy who understood exactly how bad his situation was getting. He pushed for payment because he understood how the mob thinks better than the movie gives him credit for. Look at it from his side. If you're owed money and they're paying you, you've got value. They need you alive to hand you the cash. You're still part of this thing. But if you're owed money and they're ducking you, that's a problem. And if you're owed money and everybody else who's owed money is turning up dead, you're looking at a clock and it's ticking down to you. Morrie pushed for his cut because getting paid meant he mattered. It meant he was still in the game, not outside of it. It was a survival move, not a greedy one. But Jimmy didn't see it that way, not even close. Every time Morrie showed up asking for money, he was reminding everyone that he existed, that he was connected to Lufthansa, that he was a live wire in a room full of dynamite. Paying Morrie didn't fix the problem, it just pushed the problem down the road. Morrie takes the cash, sure, but he's still got his records. He's still a guy the feds can lean on. He's still walking, breathing exposure. And exposure, unacceptable. And there's the money angle on top of it. By early 1979, multiple crew guys are dead. Their shares never paid out. Burke's sitting on millions, but every payout means moving money. Moving money means creating new trails, more chances for somebody to screw up, more exposure. Every person Burke eliminates that's not just a witness removed, that's a payment canceled. Morrie's share alone was $300,000-400,000 grand. Burke keeps all of that by making one phone call. And Morrie's not a made guy. No protection, no rules about getting permission to kill him. It's just math. So everybody asks, why didn't Morrie run? He can see what's happening. Guys are dropping. He knows Burke is cleaning house. He's got to know he's on the list. So why stick around? Why keep asking for money instead of getting in a car and driving until the gas runs out? Two reasons. And both of them make sense if you're inside his head. One, Morrie believed the relationship would save him. He'd known Jimmy for years, done business together, financed gambling debts for guys in Burke's crew, and he delivered the biggest score of their entire lives. In Morrie's mind, that earned him something. That bought him loyalty, that bought him a pass. What he didn't get, what guys like him never get until it's too late, is that loyalty in Jimmy Burke's world has an expiration date. The second the risk outweighs the reward, loyalty's done. Morrie thought he was an asset. After Lufthansa, he was a liability. Two very different things. Morrie needed that money. His whole loan sharking operation ran on capital. He had debts of his own, obligations. Walking away from $300,000 meant walking away from his financial foundation. Running meant giving up his business, his life, everything he'd built. So he figured, get the money, then step back, collect the cut, then disappear. Maybe move somewhere, Florida, wherever, retire the shop, start fresh. He thought he could thread that needle, get paid, and get out. He couldn't. January 6th, 1979. Morrie leaves his wig shop in Brooklyn that evening, gets in his car, and that's it. He's never seen again, ever. His wife reports him missing. Cops investigate. They find his car abandoned. No blood, no signs of a struggle, nothing, just an empty vehicle. Morrie erased. From what we know from investigation reports, from testimony Henry Hill gave years later, Burke ordered it and Tommy DeSimone carried it out. Tommy, Burke's #1 killer, the same Tommy who'd later get killed himself for whacking a maid man without permission. Tommy picks Morrie up, probably tells him, Jimmy's got your money, let's go get it. And Morrie gets in the car. Think about that. He probably felt relief. Finally, after weeks of pushing, weeks of watching other guys die, weeks of wondering if he was next, it was happening. The money was coming, he'd made it through, he was gonna be okay. Maybe he's thinking about what he'll do with $300,000. Maybe he's planning his exit. Maybe he actually thanks Tommy for the ride. And then at some point during that drive, Morrie realizes none of it's true. Maybe the route changes. Maybe Tommy's expression shifts. Maybe they pull into a place that doesn't look like anywhere money's waiting. That moment, those last few seconds of understanding when it hits you that you've been played and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I can't imagine anything worse than that. You're in a locked car with a killer, and it's already over. You just haven't stopped breathing yet. That's how Martin Krugman's life ended. Not with comedy, not with strangling, because he was annoying. With a professional, calculated hit designed to permanently remove a structural threat from Jimmy Burke's operation. His body was disposed of so completely that 46 years later, nothing's turned up. He's still officially a missing person. Everybody knows he's dead. Everybody knows Burke did it. But knowing and proving, those live in different zip codes. No body, no murder charge, no case. Morrie just stopped being. Burke went to prison eventually. But not for Morrie, not for any of the Lufthansa killings. He got popped for fixing college basketball games. Later caught a life sentence for murdering Richard Eaton, a drug dealer, totally separate thing. He died of cancer in 1996. Never answered for Lufthansa, never answered for Morrie. Took it all with him. Henry Hill flipped in 1980. His testimony brought down 50 guys. His story became our movie. But even Henry couldn't give the prosecutors what they needed on the Lufthansa murders. He wasn't in the room. He didn't see the killings. Couldn't provide the evidence. So Burke skated on the biggest score and the bloodiest cleanup of his entire career. Morrie's family never got closure. No body, no funeral, no grave to visit. Just a hole where a person used to be. His shop closed, his clients scattered. His records almost definitely destroyed the same night he was. Everything Morrie was, everything he built, gone. That's what exposure costs you in this world. Not just your life, your existence. Here's what the movie fundamentally misses. The mob doesn't kill you for being annoying. It kills you for being a liability. Your personality might make people not like you, but it doesn't get you killed. Risk gets you killed, exposure gets you killed, documentation gets you killed. Morrie could have been the sweetest, most polite, most patient human being on earth. If he still had those loan sharking files, if he still connected Burke's crew to airport employees, if he still represented a trail for the FBI to follow, he's dead anyway. Maybe on a different Tuesday, maybe in a different car, but dead. Jimmy Burke ran a cost-benefit analysis on a human being's life. Keeping Morrie alive, $300 to $400 grand in payments, plus ongoing exposure risk, plus the chance that some federal prosecutor leans on him and he cracks. Killing Morrie, zero cost, all three problems gone permanently. The math was obvious. And that's what's actually scary about this. Not that Burke was impulsive, that he was rational. His violence wasn't emotional, it was mechanical. He killed to solve problems, not to blow off steam. Which means Morrie couldn't have saved himself, couldn't have behaved differently, couldn't have talked his way out or bought his survival with patience or loyalty or silence. He was dead the moment Lufthansa succeeded. His expiration date was baked into the plan before anybody put a ski mask on. Burke probably decided to kill him before the heist even happened. Before Morrie ever asked for $1, before any argument. Just cold math, Morrie brings the score, crew executes, witnesses get eliminated. His name was on that list from the jump. He just never knew it. Morrie Krugman thought he was a partner. He thought delivering the biggest score in American history earned him a seat at the table. He thought history and loyalty and usefulness meant something to Jimmy Burke. They didn't. They never do. Not in this life. You're not a partner, you're a tool. And tools get tossed in the garbage when the job's done. Morrie was useful right up until the vault doors closed at Lufthansa. After that, he was just a guy who knew too much and wrote too much of it down. The mob doesn't kill personalities, it kills liabilities. Morrie wasn't murdered for talking. He was murdered for knowing. And after the largest cash robbery in American history, knowing too much was the one sentence nobody could commute. That's the real story. That's what Goodfellas turned into a comedy bit. And somewhere in a patch of dirt nobody's ever dug up, or at the bottom of something nobody's ever looked in, what's left of Martin Krugman is still out there, waiting. 46 years and counting.